Okay, hi everybody. I wanted to do this quick little video to show you some techniques when working on charters. These techniques pretty much work only for charters because the toner that we use in printing acts as kind of a resist to the gouache and the watercolor that we use on charters. So it really is only for charters, not for original scrolls. Ink does not act like a resist the way that the toner does. So what I wanted to get to was the thickness of the paint that you wanna work with, and I'm just using a Winsor Newton yellow ochre gouache right now for this particular charter, and I'm using a number 4 round brush made by somebody called Snap, and you can see it's a nice thick brush and it's got a really tight point on it, which is what you want for something like this. Now, as for the thickness of the paint, you can see that here I've got the yellow ochre as it comes out of the tube, and it's very thick, and this does not flow easily onto the paper when it's that thick. So what I've done is I've made a little well right here where I've thinned the paint with just a drop of water at a time off of my brush to something like a heavy whipping cream consistency. You can see that it's thin enough that it flattens out in the pot, but it's thick enough that I can hold quite a bit of it on my brush. See, even though it's going to drip, there's still a lot of paint on the brush, and that's what you want when you're painting charters, especially laying color, is a brush that's going to hold a lot of color for you. So the first technique I want to show you is what I and others call puddling of the paint. You can see here I just finished this area. You can see how shiny it is, but you can also see how the paint is all nice and flat. There's no rises or empty spots in the paint. It's a nice opaque color. So you do that by getting some paint on your brush, not so much as I had before, but a goodly amount so that you have quite a bit of paint on the brush. And you're going to go in and just puddle that paint right down. See how I made a puddle? So now that I've got paint there, I can basically take the tip of the brush and just kind of shove the paint around. I don't have to paint it like you would be doing in a watercolor or some such thing, you know. I'm just dragging the paint around with my brush right up against that toner so that the toner can push, use its water tension, or the water tension pulls it off of the toner. So that way, and because there's so much paint on brush, I can do a really large area really quickly. Right? And then any areas that I miss, I just go back with the tip of that brush and fill it in. Get a little bit more for this other area. Go right up to the toner. And sometimes, if you're lucky, if you get paint onto the toner and it's just on the toner, you can take your fingernail and just push it right back off again. That's one of the beauties of working with the printed charter. Get my paint on my brush. Not so much that it's dripping, but that you can see that there's a lot of paint there. And just go in and puddle it in place. Get my little corners. And push it around. See how quickly that goes when you have a goodly amount of paint on your brush. And that way you get your base paint, the laying of the base paint out of the way, so you can go back and do the fun stuff. The fiddly bits and details and layering, and all of that will come in future videos. So basically what I did there is I just kind of drug the paint into that corner. I didn't try to paint into it, I just drug the paint over into the corner. And you should be able to see how nice and flat that paint is, I hope. But I wanted to show you one other thing, which is the using of the of two colors in one paste. It's the same color, but you lighten it. The paint here in this area is really thick, which is not really a good thing, but you know, we're getting by with it. And so what I've done is taken the same blue and I've lightened it a little bit. In fact, I think I want to lighten it a little bit more. So I have the blue that was used here, and it's been lightened, and I'm going to lighten it. I'm lightening it a little bit more. You can see, I hope you can see the nice consistency of the paint here. So that's a good, I like that. Get all the white mixed in so I don't have any surprises. All right. So what I'm going to do, this is another brush I really like. I think it's a number 4. It is. It was a Lowell Cornell and the dog chewed it in half, but I still like it. Still a good brush. So what I'm going to do here is on a half of this dark blue, I'm going to put this lighter blue down. And it doesn't have to be super exacting. Okay? And I think I'll just do a corner here. And then I'll do a little bit down here. And it's just going to create some depth, I guess is the best way to call it. See, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be in a perfect line or anything. So what I'm going to do is all of these right-hand edges is what I'll do with a little bit of lighter blue on top of the darker blue. Oops. Oh no, she went over the line. They never did that in period. Oh, wait. Okay. So now I'm going to do the bottoms of this kind of bit here. And here. And so what will happen when I go into this groovy little knot, is this good?
Closer to you.
Is I'll go just on one half, or what, about, maybe it's a third that I'm doing. I don't know, it's hard to tell. But like I said, it doesn't have to be exact. And just go all around with a little knot with this secondary color. See right there, I kind of went over the toner so I can just scrape it off. In fact, where this is, I think I'll actually do that on purpose a little. So go all the way around the little knot with this lighter blue. And this is the similar kind of shading you do on plant forms. If you look at some of the other charters we've got for this rain. Oops. We'll just change that up like that. See, because it wasn't the same side when I got to the other end of the knot, but that's okay. I just smushed it. So now that I've gotten that done, oh, I missed a spot here. A couple of spots, so that's okay. Right there. That's good. I'm going to do just a little, like a little, oh golly, what is it called? A little quatrefoil in the lighter blue. Like that. And here. Again, doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to jazz it up later with a little bit of white. And then I think I'll do a couple of just blue dots. Okay, several blue dots. Okay, so I've got my white paint here that I have mixed up to my heavy cream consistency. And I have my pointy number 4 round, which I admit is getting a little old and maybe needs to be replaced, but I'll do the best I can with this. So what I'm going to do here, so I have the two colors, and all I'm going to do is just take this white and just run it along one edge of the blue, of the lighter blue, on top of the light blue. Yes, I know, that was wiggly. And here's my little circles, and I'm just gonna go around them. My brush is actually a little thicker than I like, but for this example, I think it's fine. And then our little quatrefoils. See here, I'm doing them more, making them a little prettier with that outline. So you can see that the secondary color does not have to be perfect because I'm fixing it with my white. So I'm just going to do this whole line along this edge. Sometimes I like to use a little piece of tissue paper from my gold leaf to put my hand under so that it moves more smoothly on the surface. Thusly. Et là. And then up here I'm just gonna do like little growly lines on his little face. Okay. Oh, I forgot some. Oh, I'm wiggly. Doesn't have to be perfect. Don't think that it has to be perfect. But you can see how nice that looks, how, even those just simple techniques make it look really interesting and attractive to the eye. And the two colors, the two shades of the same color make it give it a lot of depth. Okay? Et là. So what I'll do with this particular charter is I'll probably go in and do some little dots thingies here and the little guys here and dots inside the quatrefoil. This is when it pays to have a really nicely, another time it pays to have a really nicely tipped brush. And so I think in the next little video we do, I'll show you some really simple line techniques you can do with two colors or two shades of the same color and some white lining. But that, I think, is that for today. I just wanted you to be able to see the thickness of the paint so that it works best for you. And this works pretty well with both gouache and the koi watercolor. But getting that thickness of your paint is what makes charter painting easier and a lot more fun. It's less of a hassle, and I want you guys to have fun doing this. If we're not having fun, then we're not doing it right. Right? Okay, I'll see you later.